Well, once again, we got Japanese wrestling for all of you guys. So we got three promotions from four different events. All of it will be reviewed and discussed about on this episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone. So I'll tell you which ones we're going to be reviewing. We got 2 days of Ice Ribbon. We got Dragon Gate, and of course, Pro Wrestling Note with a brand new logo that I will display for all of you guys later on in this episode. So let's get started on Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Welcome everybody to Deleted Wrestle Zone. All things that it's pro wrestling from AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, matches, wrestlers, and championships. I'm your host, J-Rod here. So let's get started with Ice Ribbon. Now, they had 2 days of two different events on different days and months. The first one took place on January 6th of this year, and the second one took place on the 3rd of February, but they both had the same name called Peace Party. Now, I don't know why they call it that. I'm still trying to get new of it, trying to learn, understand what is cool about their events. I'm getting to know many of the wrestlers here and all of their events and some good things. So let's start with the first one. They only had 4 matches each because if you guys been aware of recently, there's been a strict curfew going on in Japan due to the pandemic. This is only temporarily because we normally been seeing this happen a lot. But it's not just these guys, it happens with every promotion in Japan. But let's get started with the first one in Ice Ribbon for Peace Parties on January 6th. The first match was a singles match with Yuki Mashino versus Madeline. Now, Yuki Yoshino, I've seen her many times over. She always has this cardboard championship, but facing off someone like Madeline, she's a very hard hitter, someone that you have to pay attention. Both wrestlers are good, but however, Madeline took the win this one when she made Yuki Mashino submit, and she won her match. Second match was Bani Oikawa taking on Sherry, but this one went less than a 2-minute match. So it ended with Sherry pinning Bani it really quickly when she finished her off. I don't know what the hell was that, but however, she did a little promo. Again, there is no translator on this one or anything or English commentary like they do in Pro Wrestling Noah or Dragon Gate or New Japan Pro Wrestling. I mean, I wish we could have that in every Japanese promotion, but sadly, it doesn't happen that way. But, yeah. The next match was a tag team match. We have Nao Ishikawa teaming with Yukio Sakurai taking on Zuzu Suzuki and Yappy. This was a really good match in this tag team because I've seen Zuzu Suzuki countless times. Like, ever since I started watching Ice Ribbon, she's really good. Yappy is like a real tough cookie, really knows what she's doing. And the other two, I'm getting to know them completely. But however, it was in fact Zuzu and Yappy that won their match. The next match is another tag team match. We got Izuki Aoki and Momo Kogo taking on Honore Hana and Tsukushi Haruka. Now, I might have seen some of these women before. I think I might have seen Tsukushi before. I think she might have had a previous match in the early times when I started reviewing it. She's good, really great. And her and Honori actually won their match. So that is it on the Peace Party on January 6th. Now let's get to the Peace Party in February 3rd. First match is a tag team. We got Yuki Moshino teaming with Honori Harukai, no, Honori Ana, taking on Nao Ishikawa and Zuzu Suzuki. So, once again, I've seen these girls how they do. Man, it was a really good match, but I have noticed Ishikawa and Suzuki are two of the power hitters within in this match. How they good team up, but however, that's how they won their match, being a tough team. Now, the next two matches, this is something new for me to find out. Now, if you guys have noticed, every Japanese wrestling promotion has a tournament to determine who will be the one to face off the champions. Now, keep in mind, all of this is not elimination type tournaments. This is more of point system elimination. And the name of the tournament is called Peas League 2001 tournament, but now we're going to the B block. First match, we had Madeline versus Bani Okawa. Now this match was so good. I was so into this match completely. But however, it did not go according to plan. It ended in a time limit draw. So that means each of the wrestler gets a point. So that's how it works in the point system in Japan, if you guys are new to the channel. It's the same thing in New Japan, and Pro Wrestling No, All Japan, or any Japanese promotion, it works that way. But don't ask me why, it just happens. Now, the next Peas League match is the A block. We got Yappy taking on Izuki Aoki. Another good match, really good. But I wasn't sure who was going to take this one, but I think I feel satisfied with Izuki Aoki winning. I feel, yeah, okay, I'm sold. So she gained some points on this one. As for Yappy, 0. Now the final match for this one on the 3rd of February is a tag team. We got Rina, Shingaki, and Takea taking on Suzuki Tororo and Suzukishi Arukai. Now, as I mentioned, Zukushi Harukai, really good. I say she's a good wrestler to watch, but her tag team partner really were good, dominant in the ring. I think I might have seen the other two before. I'm not trying to recapture the memory if I have, but man, was a good match too. However, Sakutsi Tororo and Tsukushi Haruka actually won their match. So that's pretty much it what happened in Ice Ribbon. So I got you both events in the same segment. So let's move on with Dragon Gate for the Gate of Truth. Okay, so we got Dragon Gate, the Gate of Truth, on the first day. This took place on February 5th. Now, the first match was a 6-man tag team match. We got Team Boku, consistent of Punch Tominaga, Ryu Saito, and of course, my favorite, Boku Tomo Dragon, taking on Gamma, Don Fuji, and of course, the principal himself, Ultimo Dragon. I was so happy with this match. Really fun. Now, I've always had a thing about how the dragons would react. They wouldn't even face off each other. I'm like, what the hell? Where did this come from? I mean, I know they teamed up, but even Ultimo Dragon allowed Boku to actually win. I'm like, why did he do that? But later, he kicked him in the jaw, in the gut, in post match. Maybe he was trying to test him or see if he's tough enough. I'm not sure, But Team Boku won, all thanks to Boku to Dragon. So it was a really fun match, especially seeing both dragons in the same ring. Next match, this one, it was an tag team match between Genki Origuchi teaming with Genichiro Ara, taking on Yusuke Santa Maria and Keisuke Okuda. Now, every time I mention Keisuke Okuda, out of nowhere, Punch Tominaga shows up and attacks him for no apparent reason. Okuda mentioned it countless times. He had no beef with him, but for whatever reason, Punch Tominaga. But this time, thank God it did not. I'm like, it's over between those two. I think Punch Tominaga realized you lost. Just let it go. You're not tough enough. But however, the match had some bit of a comedy. If you guys don't know this, Yusuke Santamaru, he's an exotico. Basically, he's a man dressed in a woman's outfit, but really fun. She even tried to kiss Kenichiro Aria many times. But it was a good match. But however, these two guys are unmatched with Keisuke Okuda. I mean, the dude is a fighter, a great striker, and a submission specialist. You can't beat that. Now, the next match is an 8-man tag team match. We have Masquerade consisting of Jason Lee, Kota Minoura, La Estrella, and of course, our very own, the Open the Dream Gate champion, Shun Skywalker, taking on RED, Kazuma Sakamoto, Hip Hop Kikuta, Diamante, and Kaito Ishida. Now, keep in mind, it's already been set later on in March. Shun Skywalker will put his title on the line against Kaito Ishida. And Ishida has recently made himself well aware he wants to be the next challenger to dethrone Shun Skywalker. The match was okay, but however, once again, it's ROD who won the match. But however, in post-match, this time we did have an English commentator and translator. Ishida put out an interesting promo. He claims the Shun Skywalker is nothing but a fraud, that he's going to prove it. Now, you probably ask yourselves, why did he call him a fraud? This isn't the first time Ishida and Shun Skywalker actually ran into each other. Prior before Ishida joined RAD, he was part of Maximum, and Shun was part of the Mochizuki Dojo before, but Shun Skywalker always been the weakest link, and to him, he always will look at him as the weakest link. There's no way that a guy like him is in fact that strong to beat Eita for the title. So I think that's the point. I think the story is Ishida believes there is no way Eita would have lost to a weak link like Shun Skywalker. Now, Shun only became stronger was because of his envious to Ben K, who was at the time won the title. That's the reason it happened. But frankly, it is. But we'll see what happens. Next match. Boy, it's the official match that we've been expecting. Natural Vibes dancing once again. This time they were one man short. He got injured. They even told him, take your time, get better, don't rush it. And they had UT in a new look. Man, the dude getting dance a little interesting, but however, they're getting there. Really fun, and they took on Kagetora, Suji Kondo, and Ben K. The match went great. I have to say, even though Gekki Origuchi wasn't there, excuse me, but the match was great. Basically, I did enjoy it because it did show Natural Vibes are now reinventing themselves, even though 3 of the core members are still around, but adding new members is going to be a great feeling to have. So I cannot wait for Natural Vibes full force to come to fruition when their other member recovers. Now the next match, this one was a tag team match. We had Takashi Yoshida teaming with Masaaki Mochizuki taking on ROED's BB Hulk and Eita. Now keep in mind, Yoshida and Mochizuki are the number 1 contenders for the Open the Twin Gate Championship. That's the tag team titles. BB Hulk is involved in this one, but however, his partner Kai was already involved in another match. But however, there is that disdain where Mochizuki doesn't know if he can trust Yoshida. But however, Yoshida is trying to reinvent himself ever since he got kicked out from RED, and we'll see what happens when that day happens. Because you got the master and the student together. So we'll see what happens when we get there. But however, it was RED who won the match. Now the main event, this one was a very interesting match. We have Dragon Kid and Yamato taking on ROED's members Kai and SB Kento. Keep in mind, each of these guys have a certain rivalry. Kai has a rivalry with Yamato, basically he says that he was tired of being bullied by Yamato during the time of Tribal Vanguard and Dragon Gate Generation. And of course, SB Kento was the one who unmasked Dragon Kid and making sure that Toryumon Generation actually lost. So basically, there's rivalry. But here's the thing. Once again, SB Kento was stupid to remove the mask, but allowing himself to be disqualified. But however, Dragon Kid demanded a restart, and restart it did. Once again, Yamato and Dragon Kid won. But however, their feud continues to grow. So basically, on March 4th, each of these individuals, Yamato and Kid, will have their singles match against their rivals. So basically, you got Kai versus Yamato, you got Dragon Kid versus SB Kento. So basically, this is going to be a very interesting. But however, that wasn't what really happened in the end of this. If you guys don't know this, I mentioned this before. Masato Yoshino warned every faction, or unit as they call it, not to recruit Dragon Kid. Now, Dragon Kid is a very hard-nosed person, very tough individual. He's always the guy who has a chip on his shoulder. But however, something strange happened. It appears that Yamato was extending his hand to Dragon Kid to form a team together. Now, Dragon Kid was a bit more like, excuse me? So basically, whatever reason Yamato made the decision, I want you by my side. And he accepted. But however, it did not end there. Out of the blue, here comes Benkei and Keisuke Okuda, overhearing what they were saying. They're saying, you guys are doing something. We want to join in. So basically, they're forming a brand new unit. So we got Dragon Kid, Yamato, Keisuke Okuda, and Benkei forming a faction or a unit together. Now, Dragon Kid said the new name will be in the works. That will be coming up in March 4th. So I can't wait to see that. But I'm really surprised because if you guys follow the storylines, Dragon Kid is very, he has an attitude. Even almost got kicked out by Maximum, thanks to Noda Kodoi. But it didn't happen. But we'll see what happens. And of course, if you guys don't know this, Yamato did say that he did have Kai pay for his taxis and the bar tab. So basically, he's not going to do that with the other guys. So he's going to, just, okay, let's just forget about that. Let's move on. But it was a good event, especially in the main event. But I can't wait to see what's going to happen on March 4th for these singles matches going to take place. And I'm excited for that. So I'll end it right here with Dragon Gate. I'll keep more updates on them. But for now, I want to end it with a show coming from Pro Wrestling Noah is back to Budokan. Alright, so I'm going to end it with another episode of Pro Wrestling Noah. But if you guys, before I move forward, take a look at the new logo I just presented earlier right now. That is a sweet logo. Now, you probably ask yourselves, why green? That was the color of the founder of Pro Wrestling Noah, Marizahu Misawa. That was his color. His trade color was green. So I didn't like the previous one, but the very first one, that one will always be of my favorite because it had not only the word Noah, but had the Noah's Ark right there in the logo. That will always be the logo that I will always love. But this one, I'll settle for this brand new logo. Now, let's move on. Now, in this particular one, this is called Destination 2021, Back to Budokan. Now, in this particular one, I did not see 4 of the matches because it wasn't broadcast or anything, but didn't have time to write it down. But however, these 5 matches are important for this particular event. The first match is for the GHC Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships. We got the challengers, Kotaro Suzuki and Okudo Idaka versus Stingers, Yoshinari Ogawa and Hayata. Now, these guys have been fighting against each other for a long time. This has been a bitter rivalry. It did reveal that something I did not know. It turns out that Suzuki himself was a member of Stinger, and I don't know what was the story, if he was kicked out or he quit. I don't know. But it appears that he set out his revenge against Stinger. But the match was great, however, like you can see determination of Suzuki and Hideka trying to win these titles, but however, it's the experience of Ogawa that never fails him, and that's allowed him to retain the title. So they retain the GHC Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles. And Suzuki's not happy how this ended. Somehow Ogawa was able to outsmart him, and this time he did. Now, I don't know if this rivalry between these two is going to end or continue, but we'll see in the upcoming events of Pro Wrestling Noah. Now, the next match, regarding of the junior heavyweight division, this one is also a championship match. This one is for the GHC Junior Heavyweight Championship with challenger, a member of Full Throttle, Seiki Yoshioka, taking on Daisuke Arada. Can't pronounce it right, but he's the champion. Awesome match. I have to say, really, really good match. I wasn't expecting a whole lot, but however, it was so good. Now, I have been a fan of the junior heavyweight divisions before, especially if it's cruiserweight or New Japan with the IWGP junior heavyweight titles. But this one was amazing match. I did like it, but my surprising, shocking is the outcome. We had a title exchange. Seiki Yoshioka is now the new GHC Junior Heavyweight Champion. But however, it did not end right there. Post-match, Daisuke's friend and tag team partner decided, I think his name is Atsushi Koroge, he decides that he wants to be the challenger against Yoshioka. So, is it wise? I don't know. I don't know if Atsushi really wants to do this, like, wanted to step in, but we'll see what happens then. Now, the next match, this one is a generational match. On first team, it's Yoshiki Inamura teaming with Kaito Kiyomiya, taking on well-known, respected wrestlers in their own right. We got Naomichi Marufuji and Jun Akiyama. Now, I mentioned Jun Akiyama before. He's currently in DDT, but however, he does freelance in certain areas. But it was a really good match. Like, you see newcomers versus the old guard. Great match as well. But however, it was the new guard that actually won the match. So Inamura and Kiyomiya actually won this match. I was so impressed. So I don't know what this means for now Marufuji and Akiyama, but we'll see what happens. Sorry. Now the next match is another championship match. This one is for the GHC National Championship between challenger Masakatsu Funaki taking on Congo leader Keno. Now, this was also a good match. Keno, now this is his 5th defense, being the national champion. This guy has no respect for no one but himself. That's what I like about this guy. He's like the kind of guy, I don't give a shit about your respect. I'm going to fulfill my dreams. So F you, that type of thing. That's what I like about Keno. He's the kind of guy who doesn't care. Even if you send in a hand, it's like he says, F you, I don't want that. But the match was so impressive. I don't know how this was missed. I mean, if I was Dave Meltzer, I'd give this match a 6-star. Really good. But, damn. But however, it's Keno who won the match. He was really that tough. He even complimented on Funaki being a tough bastard. That's what you don't. Keno is never impressed. But however, with him, he was impressed. But to him, it doesn't mean anything. Now, that's what I like about stories. This is what I like about Keno. He's telling the story. I don't give a shit. But if you impress me, so what? I still won. But damn, you're a tough bastard. That's what he says. And he gave a fair warning in his promo to everyone to watch out. So we'll see what Keno does. We'll see how long he will retain that title. Now, the next match is the main event. We got the GHC Heavyweight Championship defended. This time we got Keiji Muto, as we know him as the Great Muta, taking on the ace of Pro Wrestling Noah, Go Shiozaki. Another good match. Now, however, you guys may have noticed, Keiji Muto, he's an old guy. Now, no disrespect on that, but the dude can still wrestle at the age of 58. Now, some of you probably will say, what? Yeah, you heard me. What you heard me correctly. He's 58 years old. You're probably saying, this guy's gonna get himself killed. Now, there was a moment he was about to do the infamous moonsault. That, if you guys remember, if you guys have been fans of the Great Muta, you know the moonsault I'm referring to. Even Sonata uses that moonsault. Even Io Shirai uses that same moonsault. But no, luckily he didn't do that. Even Shiozaki even used it himself. But the match ended with the surprising, shocking ending. Keiji Muto won the title. Shiozaki was not happy. He just couldn't accept it. Even Keiji Muto extended his hand. He's like, nope, no. But however, it appears another challenger rose, and that challenger is Kaito Kiyomoto. Now, he doesn't have to say he's the next challenger, but the way he looked at him and looked down on the belt, it gave the story, saying, I'm coming for that title. But the real question is, does he have what it takes to dethrone a legend like Keiji Muto? Now, don't let the age fool you, folks. You know they're letting that story run. But I would like to see it. But however, because of this match that won, it did reveal later on that Keiji Muto signed a 2-year contract with Pro Wrestling Noah. He wasn't really officially signed with them. He was a freelancer. But however, now that he is, and there's been reports coming in that Impact Wrestling would love to have Keiji Muto come down to Impact Wrestling and put the title on the line there. Now, I don't know if there's any partnership with Pro Wrestling Noah. I know in the past they have, but I don't know if they're going to have a partnership with Impact Wrestling, with New Japan, all that. But we'll see how that goes. But I have to say, I'm sorry about the 4 matches I didn't see, but the championship matches were amazing. I have to say, amazing matches. So if you guys haven't seen them, you can go on this link called watchwrestling.la. You can see every last match right there. These are the most important ones I feel that are really good to watch. But we'll keep up with more. But so I'm going to end it right here for all of you guys. There'll be more Japanese wrestling. But the next video, I will review Castle Attack on both days, but also continuation of the AEW Women's World Championship Eliminator Tournament that is taking place. So I will follow that more, the one on the Japanese bracket, but we'll see where that goes. So I must bid all of you guys adieu. So I'll see you in the next DWZ time. Same DWZ channel. So goodbye. Mwah. And have a nice day. Bang.